Hey everybody. I wanted to talk a little bit more about this morning's because as I meditate on it longer, it's hard to say, sometimes, like I said on the short, that God is leading us somewhere, whether it's you're leaving one situation. It's not about religion, and He might be leading us somewhere. I was thinking about people leaving one church, going to another church, and how, well, like horsemanship or whatever, there's 18 million different churches, branches, this and that, and Christianity is not about religion. It's not about a religion. In fact, it's maybe somewhat of the lower form. When God was talking about turning away, He talked about then they would turn to religion. So I implore you to turn to Him, but how are you to know whether staying, say with the example of a marriage or work or a situation, is you going down that path and you're in the middle of it and you're scared of the wilderness, the freedom? Or how do you know, like, leaving isn't your call? And for me, it comes back to biblical horsemanship. There's so many different people, and I talk about it a lot. There's this person going to that person and this person, and they spend all the time down here rather than staying with a few that are on their path to excel, to greatness. So for me, I met Buck first and then Ray, and Ray was a little hard to understand when I was younger. So Buck just helped break that down so much more for me. And again, that's what I try to do for some of you. Some of the lessons that I learned that I really had a hard time with, I try to break them down for you guys. Different ways to think. And sometimes I see people and they think, this is the secret to horsemanship. And it's, well, I want to say, no, it's not. It's not the secret. But I stop them from going down their journey. Because the cool thing about horsemanship is the more you learn, the more you get, the more you understand, the more it leads into the next thing. And so when I lead into those next things, it might become the greatest. And there's so many of these like little aha moments all the time, and that's the fun thing about horsemanship for me. That's the never-ending journey. It doesn't get boring, it doesn't get old. There's always something new, a new challenge, a new horse, something to get that connection. But life can be that way too. And for me, how do you know the difference? Well, the time in the Word, the time spending with God, the time in prayer, that intimacy, seeing what His path. And if you don't have an answer, that's kind of us, some of you know we wanted to move and we had a fire and my wife got hurt and my daughter had some trouble and for whatever reason, I grew up in Arizona, but I want to be somewhere else. I want grass. But God has us where we are. So I am waiting on the Word, on that place, on that something to tip the corners and the scales. And it's nice because a lot of people have left. There is much more peace at my house. But I wanted to share this with you. Take me a minute to find it here. And should have had it planned out before. I'm going to start back a verse. But Moses told the people, "Don't be afraid. Just stand still and watch the Lord rescue you today. The Egyptians you see today will never be seen again." And then here's the verse. Exodus 14:14. "The Lord Himself will fight for you. Just stay calm." And that's the verse I keep hearing. I don't know if who I heard before it was Exodus 14:14, but I've now heard Exodus 14:14. I read Exodus. Maybe that led me to it. Maybe the other one was. I have to go back and find where I heard the other one and see. But when I start to hear the scripture again and again and again, I start to see something again and again and again. There is a purpose for it. And I've shared with you sometimes that things are stressed, ask you guys to pray for me, and just things are off. And I know sometimes when people say, oh, you're just getting older. No, it's more than that. And you can feel it in your body. And you can all feel it in your body. And I'm so grateful for the horses in that piece. But I'll repeat it. The Lord himself will fight for you. Just stay calm. And I'll add, enjoy the journey.